All right, so it is 10:45 on Wednesday, August the 5th. Like 2 hours ago, Nintendo released an announcement for Pikmin 3, but I wasn't, for Pikmin 3 Deluxe, but I wasn't paying attention, so I just noticed it like 15 minutes ago, and I've decided that I'm gonna make a video on a specific part of it, because it wasn't really shown in the trailer. There was a part of their tweet that mentioned a new campaign alongside the main story that would follow Louis and Olimar in their journeys that happen throughout the course of the Pikmin 3 storyline. And I have some, I don't know, I kind of just want to talk about it. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I felt like I'm obligated to make a video on it, considering earlier this year I made the quest for Pikmin 4, and this is, I consider this Pikmin 4. This, for all intents and purposes, this is what I want from Pikmin 4. This is going to be awesome. I'm unbelievably excited for it. So I guess, okay, before we get into that whole storyline, one thing that would be really cool to see is actually online multiplayer for the bingo battle and the challenge modes. I think it would just be really fun to play with that with people online. Maybe there'd be solo queuing, maybe there wouldn't be. Honestly, I don't know how well solo queuing would work, because you really need voice chat for a game like that, or some form of like inputs that you can have in game. So I don't really know. Another thing I want to mention, I'm not expecting the Wii Remote playstyle to come back, which is unfortunate because that's my preferred way to play Pikmin 3. So we'll just have to see what control scheme they go with and see if they can make it viable. I do know that there's really good gyroscope in the Switch controller, so I'm hoping they use some of that maybe. But either way, I'm excited. I don't care what they do. It's more Pikmin. Like, it's been 7 years since we got a proper Pikmin game. We have no right to complain at this point. But yeah, so as far as the actual Olimar campaign goes, I feel like there's a lot of ways they could take with it. Let me actually just pull up the tweet real quick. Oh yeah, Picklepedia. I was just looking through the Twitter stuff. Picklepedia is being added, which is going to be awesome. Hopefully it's like to the same level as the Pikmin 2 Picklepedia, because that was awesome. Let's see. So yeah, embark on new side story missions featuring Pikmin experts Olimar and Louis. Give these new missions a try in Pikmin 3 Deluxe and learn a bit about what happened before and after the main story from their perspective. So, wait, there's actually 2 side stories. Like, it's specifically listed as side stories. So my guess is there's like, so in the home screen, there's going to be 4 things now. Main story, or I guess just story, side stories, the mission mode, and bingo battle. Because those are all 4 that they're going to have. And there's 2 things shown as side stories. The first one is obviously the Olimar one. It's the Olimars Assignment. So I guess I'll talk about that one first. So the interesting thing here is, it's been widely accepted at this point that the lore of Pikmin 3 as to why Olimar and Louis are on the planet in the first place is because Olimar wants the SS Dolphin back. So because of that, he's actually going back to get more treasure from PNF 404. But here it says he's actually saving Hokatake Freight from bankruptcy, which is the exact storyline of Pikmin 2. So I don't know if this is going to be like a Pikmin 2 story with a Pikmin 3 look, or really what it's gonna be. Like, that's what it sounds like, but I'm hoping it's something completely new. Because it would have to tie into the main story, because this is supposed to be something that goes alongside it. But it also says in the tweet that it'll be before and after the main story. There's no mention of it happening alongside the main story, but I'm really hoping that we can follow that. So I imagine it'll start out with Olimar landing on the planet and finding the random cosmic drive key, because Olimar got to the planet shortly before the 3 other captains did. So maybe like day 2 or 3, there would be a scripted event. So like you would have to be in a certain area on day 2 and 3, just gameplay wise, like you wouldn't have more areas open to you. I mean, it would have to be the Tropical Wilds, because that's where the Drake is when they realize that the key is gone. So maybe Olimar starts in the Tropical Wilds, but there's no evidence that, well, no, because he had to go everywhere because of the data files. So yeah, I guess he kind of did explore all the same areas. But it would be interesting to just have a different story. And one thing that I think could be really cool is redoing the entire idea of the Formidable Oak. Where, well, so Actually, what they could do is have Olimar get captured, and then Louis is running around the distant tundra, or not distant tundra, the Twilight River, as he is in the main story, eventually getting captured. And so I guess like your main objective would just be to avoid capture and try to get some treasure along the way. I think that would be a really solid storyline to have it go along with. Now, I'm not sure what's gonna happen after the main story, because the main story ends, well, they leave Louis behind. That might be what that's in reference to. There's a very subtle note. If you look at the gamepad on the final day, like once you've beaten the final day, if you look at the gamepad entry for it, it states that Louis was left behind. So it could follow Louis still on the planet with Olimar gone, or it could follow Olimar back on the Hokitate, and we could have actual playtime on Hokitate, which that'd be cool, to be honest. Now, there's a second one here, and for all I know, it could be the main story, because it sure as heck looks like it. It's just a screenshot of of PNF 404 and something crashing, like seemingly. It may not even be crash landing. Well, okay, let's be honest. It's PNF 404. You can't land on the planet without something going wrong. And there's all the lore to that, but I won't get into that in this video. I'll link in the description a video about the whole Umibozu thing, if anyone wants to look into that. It's super interesting about what kind of the unofficial Pikmin 3 lore. It's extremely dark, but it's also just really cool what everyone's kind of figured out about it. And like how it all fits. Whether it was intentional or not by the devs, it fits. I don't really know what this is going to be about, but either way, I think, honestly, having two, if this is going to have 3 full campaigns, that's going to be insane. I don't even know what the third one could be, because here's the thing. The end of Pikmin 3 shows a ship crash landing onto the planet. So who actually knows if, maybe that's what that other one is. That was suspected to be the start of Pikmin 4, was something crash landing to the planet. But maybe they're just using that for this game. And this could have basically been a Pikmin 4, which I think is hilarious. Or at least it feels to me like it could have been Pikmin 4. Now, one of the weird things about the trailer that there's no footage of literally anything except the normal story that was in Pikmin 3. Like, if I had wanted to, I could have made that exact trailer. I had I've already played the first game, and every piece of footage, except for there was one scene where they had a free moving camera during gameplay. That was the only time. That's the only thing that would have been hard for me to actually record. But like, if I had wanted to, I could have made that trailer. And I know it's the announcement trailer, so I'm not expecting big things from it, but I really hope they do some more trailers in the future, going more into the side stories. Because that, for a lot of people, for everyone who got Pikmin 3, like, that's reason enough to buy the game. Like, this could have been, if they had, hypothetically, released this on the Wii U as DLC, I would have bought it. If it had been another $60, I would have bought it. Because this is such a cool idea. Like, I know everyone's been on the whole Pikmin 4 thing for years now, but honestly, I don't know if I would have rather had a brand new Pikmin game than this. Because it's clearing up a lot of loose ends that Pikmin 3 left. About like what ended up happening to Olimar. Did he actually get the dolphin back somehow? I mean, who knows? There's no mention of how long Olimar was on the planet before all the other captains were. So he could have been on there for long enough to get a bunch of treasure stored up in the president's ship. Granted, that ship did get wrecked and was listed very specifically to be out of commission. So I don't really know. Maybe that was somehow just sent back to Hokitate and they had money to buy back the dolphin. Or maybe they're just gonna ignore that whole part of the story, which would suck. If they just, like, change the Pikmin 3 story to not have that, that would be awful. Because that just, it made sense. It was the logical step for Olimar in a third installment. Because the first time he went to the planet, it was by accident, and he crash landed. The second time was to get his company out of bankruptcy, and so he's already made tens of thousands of Pokos in a month. Like, most people's playtime goes for about 30 days. So in a month of Olimar's time, he made 10,000 Pokos off of this, which is, for reference, 100 Pokos is listed as more than a year's salary. So Olimar, if he had gotten that money for himself, he's basically a billionaire now, as far as Hokotashin terms. So, like, what motivation would he not have for future exploration? Like, screw the whole freight service, just treasure hunting. Apparently, that's like the most profitable job in existence in the Pikmin universe. So, I don't know, it just sounds cool, because, like, so this game could stick with that whole idea of him trying to buy back the dolphin, and then any future missions, if they want to include Olimar in future games, just say he was money hungry. People would fully understand, like, that would make sense. It, lore-wise, to me anyway, as a Pikmin connoisseur, it makes sense. And yes, I am labeling myself a Pikmin connoisseur now, because I've made, like, I don't know, the videos that I've made on it, I've put hundreds of hours into Pikmin videos. I think I'm allowed to talk about this. But anyway, it'll also be interesting to see what Arlo says. I don't know if he has a video out already. He probably will by the time that I've released my video, because this is coming out probably Thursday. I need time to put it together. It might come out today. It might come out on Wednesday. I don't actually know. Nope, I'm not seeing anything. Granted, I mean, we're 2 hours after they announced it. So, like, you know, I really am not expecting a video by now, but probably by the time I release this video, Arlo will have one out. It'll be interesting to see his reaction, given his push for a new Pikmin game for the past 7 years. So, I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about this. I saw this happen. I'm not, like, much of a gaming news channel or discussion channel. I just do what I want, to be honest. But, not to mention, you know, other videos are coming out soon. I've got a video that I'm working on that should be out within the next week, probably. So, be looking forward to that. It's what is the video? Oh, crap. It's another Splatoon video. I'm going back to some Splatoon for a little bit. And I will be streaming this game. When it comes out, I'm gonna be streaming it like the whole weekend. This won't turn into another Paper Mario. It's Pikmin. It can't turn into another Paper Mario of, like, I played it twice on stream and was like, yeah, okay, I'm done. But I'm so excited. I've been DMing with Mattress. I've been talking on the Discord server about it for, like, the past 30 minutes, and it's insane that this is real. But yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to talk a bit about, specifically the Olimars Assignment mission. So, anyway, yeah, I guess that's the video. Thank you all for watching, and a little announcement, we have merch now. You can go down in the description to the Teespring store, you can go buy that. We have an Oof and Doof design, we have an It's Not Bullying If You Lose design, and just basic logo-related merch. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.